One of the fascinating things about phobias for me is the fact that it's not always a straightforward origin story when it comes to phobias. Yes, there are those pretty recognizable phobias, i.e., a dog bit me and now I'm afraid of dogs. I experienced turbulence on a flight and now I'm afraid of airplanes. There are times like that where it's just that one thing that just kind of needs to clear the emotional attachment and the phobia is resolved. However, one of the more fun reasons why I love working with phobias is because there are often complex reasons why we have a phobia, and we may not even consciously be aware of them. I worked with a lady recently, and she was so cool. But she was terrified of snakes. I mean, to the point where she saw my little countertop garden, and admittedly, I haven't been taking care of it as well as I should, so it did look a little jungly, but she froze and said, "Do you have a snake in here?" So we did some work, and as we're chatting, my intuition was kicking up, and this is why I love being able to use my intuition in my hypnotherapy practice, is because I was getting the sense that it wasn't about snakes. And she was terrified of snakes, so she's telling me these moments where she remembered so clearly a snake being involved in her memory, but she could never remember being bitten by a snake, and she hadn't been. Well, come to find out, as she's talking, every single one of these instances with snakes correlated to moments of abuse, either witnessing abuse or experiencing abuse. Moments of having her boundaries crossed, moments of her giving away her power when she really didn't feel comfortable doing so. So really, it wasn't about the snakes, but her unconscious mind was so powerful in creating a metaphor as to making sense of the very traumatic things that she had experienced, and it associated snakes with abuse. It associated snakes with danger. It associated snakes with boundaries being crossed. And those were the things that she was terrified of. And she was actually terrified of her own power in certain respects. So it was a beautiful thing to witness and a beautiful thing to be a part of, being able to disentangle this phobia in a way that I really enjoyed seeing her do. I really enjoyed working with her because sometimes the origin of a phobia is not so cut and dry, and if you're worried that just because you don't know the exact reason that you have a phobia, you might not be able to heal it, it's simply not true. We just have to untangle the unconscious message behind it and the unconscious metaphor and the story you're being told to keep you safe. Happy healing.